Darci's Corner, November 10th, 2021. This might just end up being a Darci's Archive, but probably not. I usually end up posting my stuff, and I'll be honest, sometimes it's because I don't have room on my hard drives and stuff to save this information. I don't even know why I think it matters. I mean, hopefully it's helping somebody. Hopefully I'm pushing the ball forward. I've been watching a lot of Band of Brothers lately. I usually watch that about once a year, and I love Band of Brothers, but it is a whole bunch of American propaganda about the war, and kind of covers up or glosses over war crimes and some of the horrible things that they did or were done to them. And it's definitely a terrible thing, war is. And when you're watching Band of Brothers, you're supposed to be on the side of the Americans. And of course you are, but understand when they're blowing people up, they're blowing up the Germans, those are human beings too. Just because they happen to speak German and be on the other side doesn't really mean that they're evil or bad people. Um, if your country goes to war and you're fighting for your country, guess what? You're going to be on your country's side, whether your country's side is right or not. So, you can't really necessarily hate people for going to war uh, as a soldier, anyway. But anyway, I'm watching this Band of Brothers, and I'm watching these people, crawl over landmines for each other and things, and save each other and care about each other. And I had family that fought in the Second World War, and I've always been brought up to respect veterans. And then I've been thinking about, well, what about our war? Who's dying for us? Who has died for us? And by us, I mean the LGBT community and my trans community in particular, who's died for us. And the person that I always keep thinking of is that Marsha P. Johnson, because I'm just like even realizing just now as I'm reading the history on her again. She died in 1992. I was in high school in 1992, and there was no gay straight alliance back then. That didn't exist, and it wasn't okay to be gay back then. Um, but there was a big AIDS awareness movement. Movies like Philadelphia and stuff were out, and it was the 90s was definitely the AIDS awareness decade. That was true. But I didn't know about Marsha P. Johnson or who she was or why that even mattered. I mean, I didn't care about any of that stuff back then because I had suppressed, when I was 10, I had suppressed my transness and just told myself that it was not real, and or that it was real, but I was going to just put that away now and not do that anymore. But the thing was, I couldn't really get rid of it. It didn't work that way. It's just that it would come out in other ways, and for me, that meant reading books. And then, like lots of times, I'd read books, and I was the hero, but the hero was a female, and she would go through all these life experiences, and that's how I expressed my transness when I was in high school. That was where that went. Because I was obsessed with those books. I just read them over and over again. Um, but anyway, but Marsha P. Johnson in 1992, she was drowned in a river. She was beat up and drowned in a river. That was. She crawled over a landmine for me. She was part of the Stonewall riots. She was a very outspoken LGBT advocate, and at that time they didn't distinguish between gay and trans. Much of the cis world, the heterosexual world, did not distinguish the difference. So they just saw her as a a monster, or child sex predator or something. I don't know what narrative they told themselves when they grabbed that innocent woman and they beat the living crap out of her and then drowned her in a river. That's what she got for stepping out for my rights. She went and she crawled across the landmines, the same as these bandit brothers are doing. But her war never ended because she just never knew when she was going to get dragged off by the other side. In this case, it's not an invading army, it's people that live in your community who are going to protect the children from the bathroom monsters, and they're going to beat the crap out of you and drown you in a river. I don't feel scared today. I'm not worried today that someone's going to beat the crap out of me and drown me in a river. I just don't feel that fear. You know why I don't feel that fear? Because people like Marsha P. Johnson stood up for me. So, I don't know. I guess my only point to this Darci's Corner is that heroes come in all shapes and sizes, and with this Remembrance Day, when you're remembering people who fell, fighting for a war for your freedom, maybe you might want to think about those who fought so that people like me could have civil liberties, so that I could be myself and go into a mall or go into a restaurant or go into a workplace and not be afraid that I'm going to lose my life for it. I'm so grateful for her and the so many more like her who stood up. Anyway, that's my Darcy Corner for today, for Remembrance Day, which will be tomorrow, I guess. Peace.